Hello and welcome to today's podcast. Thank you to Miami's Community News for inviting us here. My name is Pietro Bonacossa. I have the privilege to work for Easterseals South Florida. We are a nonprofit organization that's been around for over 80 years, and we provide services and solutions for children, young adults, and older adults with disabilities and disadvantages. This is the giving season. There are so many wonderful opportunities for our supporters to come together to give back and pay it forward to support our mission. So we're so excited to have a few special guests here today who will be able to share the story of Easterseals, how they became involved, and what our organization is all about. So here we have three wonderful, I call them grateful families of the Easterseals South Florida mission. We have Elisa Nelson, who represents our adult daycare program. We have Eleazar Lopez, who represents our Culinary Arts School. And we have Angel Espinosa, who represents our Child Development Center. These are three of our flagship programs at Easterseals. We serve individuals with special needs, disabilities, and disadvantages across the age continuum. Our purpose is to really make sure that we create the biggest and best possible quality of life outcomes for everybody that we serve. We serve over 1,000 individuals per year at Easterseals. And again, during the giving season, this is a time for us to come together, and we want viewers like you to hear our stories. So I'm going to start with Elisa, who's sitting right next to me. I'm going to ask you a few questions. We want to learn more about you. We want to hear your story. So let's start from the beginning, okay? Tell us a little bit about you and what brought your family to Easterseals.
Okay, so we have Bob and I have been married for 52 years, and I call him Bob forever. Everyone does, but Easterseals is very special. So they call him Robert, and he loves it. He's never changed that name. So there, with all his friends and his family at Easterseals, is known as Robert. So a few years ago, Bob was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and I really didn't know too much about what was going on, but I knew we would have a rocky road ahead. And I sought out many different opportunities of workshops that I attended. And one of them in particular really was, to me, had been the best. And that's what I learned about Easterseals. There was a participant there who was very impressed with the care at Easterseals, and that kind of encouraged me, and I looked into it. I went to visit, and I liked it. And so Robert started going twice a week. He now goes 5 days a week. And he really likes that. He has adjusted really well. And it's a peace of mind for me.
Wonderful. And I have to say that I am honored to see Robert every single day. I see him every day. I stop by, say hello, and I see him in action. And it's really remarkable the progress that he's made and continues to make.
Yes.
It's really inspiring.
It is.
Thank you for sharing. So, Eleazar, we also want to hear your story. Tell us a little bit about your family and what brought you to Easterseals.
Okay. So we were looking for a place for Daniela after her graduating middle school, and we're wondering what high school would be most appropriate for her. We wanted a place where she would have learned something practical for the future, and also a place where she would socially develop and also could acquire life skills. And after looking at many different places and many different high schools throughout the city, this was like the most appropriate one that we felt that we were just, we were glad that it was available, and, we decided for it, and we're glad that she was accepted and she was able to, join the school. So that's how we learned about Easterseals.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And I see Daniela all the time as well, and she's just a remarkable young lady. So thank you for sharing. Angel, tell us about you and Arya, who is just a bundle of joy and just such a pleasure to have around.
Oh, I appreciate that. She is absolutely great. Well, how I came about Easterseals was actually looking for placement for another family. What I do is I help my daughter was going through the diagnosis process. Arya got a very early diagnosis before she was 2. and that's very seldom or rare that that's actually done. But I am an ESE specialist and a parent advocate. So I help parents navigate the process of doing the diagnosis, etc. So in doing Arya's, I went to Early Steps and they recommended Easterseals. And I came in very hopeful. And thank God I did, because Arya has just grown so much, made great friends, and it's just an amazing opportunity to be there.
And I have to say, from a personal standpoint, I think it has to be so incredibly advantageous to have a parent who is so knowledgeable and has a lot of experience working in that space to help, because you help other families navigate their journey, and here you are navigating your own journey.
Absolutely. And honestly, it was the most terrifying thing because being so knowledgeable, you know what's expected and you know what's needed. And finding a place that actually provides the services, caring, and provides everything that a child needs, or an adult or a high school needs to grow and to just develop. And Easterseals does that. And I'm confident and happy that Easterseals is around for my daughter.
That's perfect. And that leads me to the next question. So tell us what changes you've seen in Arya, what progress has she made throughout her time at Easterseals?
Oh, it's been transformative, to be honest. Her communication skills, her social development skills, her independence. It's just, she's really coming into herself. And that's something every parent wants to see. And that consistent progress that Easterseals provides. I mean, her teacher, everyone there, she loves going to school. She skips and jumps to go there. And every day she learns something. And at first, I was so worried that she wouldn't even speak. And now I can't get her to be quiet. And that is just something that's awesome. And I just feel comfortable there. And I think that's what every parent wants, is a place that they know their child's safe, that they're growing, and that they're able to communicate with the staff, with the therapist, and everybody works collaboratively for the development of the child. And that is the rarity of Easterseals, is that everybody works together and you feel safe.
That is, and thank you for sharing that. It is very true about Easterseals. I've been with the organization 3.5 years, and I can definitely attest to the amount of individualized, personalized attention and care that is given by teachers, therapists, program staff, all coming together, and how much attention is paid to every milestone that needs to be reached. So
absolutely.
Thank you for
1000%.
sharing that. Eleazar, so tell us about Daniela. I know about Daniela, I know where she is, but for our listeners and viewers today, what progress has she made?
Well, Daniela, I mean, it's from when she started Easterseals until she graduated. I think the most amazing part is that she behaves like a typical child, right? In other words, that she has dreams. She knows she's capable, and she's socially adaptable. Adapted to she has a group of friends, and so those things I think are like the biggest things for me that I've seen in Daniela, and the fact that she says I think I want to have my own cafe, and I want to bake my own goods, and I want to get my friends to come to my parties and do all of that. I mean, those are things that everybody says, and there's no difference. So I think that has been like the amazing part about this journey, that in high school she went through all this 5 years of education, and she's a typical child in her mind and everything else. Of course, if from outside you might see some a delay, but overall it's a happy child.
Yeah.
Or happy young adult or adult. I mean,
she's always your child.
She'll always be my child.
She'll always be your child, no matter how old she is. Yes.
But she is an adult and an adjusted adult. So.
And tell us what she's doing now.
So right now she's working for Easterseals 2 days a week.
And has her own cafe.
Working towards that. She's also attending a baking school as well. So she does bake. and she does something else, but that's what she's doing right now. She's working, and again, the job, it's a responsibility. She feels that she needs to be there. She feels accomplished at the end of the day. She's like, oh, we made so many kids today, oh, we did this today, and so forth. So that is somebody has a purpose,
Yeah.
and I think that for us and for me, that's like super important. Somebody that looks forward to like getting up in the morning, or sometimes not as much, but getting up in the morning, having a place to go, and feeling that at the end of the day they accomplished something. They did 50 kids, they did 100 kids, and for that, she tells me the numbers all the time. So I believe that is like really amazing. Those are some of the things that I think are incredible on this journey.
That's so inspiring. And I was at Daniela's graduation, and this is actually a great kind of connection to the work that we do, because at our Special Needs Academy, we see children and young adults from 0 all the way to 22. But because we consider everybody who comes through our doors part of our family, our program team and our school team has worked very intentionally at creating job opportunities for students once they graduate, so that they can continue working with us in various environments, applying the skills that they learned, and still having a supportive network of experts, so that when it comes time to going out into the community and to partnering with other employers, they also understand the supportive environment that they need to provide, which is why we invite a lot of corporate partners to spend time with us. We present to them about what it's like to hire on the spectrum or hire someone who has unique abilities, because that supportive environment really is so critical. And the fact that we have it at Easterseals, I think is inspiring, because I see other former students or graduates or alumni who come back because that familiarity is really, really key. So we want to create that familiarity outside in the community. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm so glad she's doing well. So Elisa, back to you. So tell us a little bit about what milestone has Robert achieved? What is he doing now? What are some of the anecdotes that you can share where you feel, wow, this has been transformative, and it's been extremely helpful to him?
And you're right, and you both used the same word, transformative, because it is true, and you see, and it's really palpable. One of the things that he comes home and he's willing to share now things that happened, whatever he saw, whatever they did at Easterseals. I find that he's very, and he didn't feel like this in the beginning. He really feels that he belongs there, that he has a set of support, and people really care for him. And I think that's vital. And it comes natural to the staff. The staff is not only well trained, but they also have as people, they have really kindness, and that's something you don't train anyone to be kind. They just love what they do, and they like to help, and I'm sure that it's rewarding for them as well to see the change in the participants in the groups that they kind of supervise. He's more talkative and more willing to share things like that. I think it's just the encouragement. I think the socialization, the art. It's all his art projects. He loves his little art projects, and he brings them home quite. Now I have a Christmas one that I will be putting out probably in another couple of weeks, very nicely, and it develops, and those things are just vital for them. When they need to be constantly stimulating the brain and their socialization. It's just like the best to be loved. And for me, it's really a peace of mind, because I think that he's really safe there and loved.
That's wonderful to hear. And I do see Robert in action, because in addition to receiving what we call client enrichment opportunities, like expressive arts therapy, music therapy, I see Robert engaging with the other clients and taking the lead and helping to organize, which is a wonderful testament of his progress. And to those viewers out there, anytime anyone would like to give back and create opportunities for our children, young adults, and older adults through what we call enrichment, which is a way for us to combine the therapeutic support that we provide with boots on the ground projects, intergenerational opportunities. So those of you who want to spend time at Easterseals and volunteer with us, you really should. I encourage everyone to visit because it is a special place where you can see a lot of the milestones that are the people in our care receive, thanks to those types of activities, which are so beneficial because they stimulate their mind, they stimulate the spirit, and they encourage socialization across generation. We're doing a lot of intergenerational work. So this is great to hear. So next question, and as the viewers have been seeing, there's we've been displaying information about what's coming up for Easterseals. As I mentioned, this is a giving season. We have a lot of opportunities. This week is Give Miami Day, which is the largest 24-hour giving day in Greater Miami. And it's, I believe this is, it may be the 15th year now, but we participated from the beginning. Every dollar that we raise gets matched by a matching donor pool. It's very exciting. Giving is already happening online all the way through Thursday. Then we have our Small Miracles Luncheon happening on December 9, which is our signature event. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year. And then we have Giving Tuesday, another big giving day. So all that to say, again, a lot of opportunities for people to give back, a lot of opportunities for the community to come together to support our mission. Over 92 cents of every dollar that we raise goes directly to the program, which is a really big, it's a really big number that we're very proud of. I always like to say at Easterseals, we are a direct service nonprofit and we do a lot with limited resources. So I always say that because I think it's so true. So, Elisa, back to you. Why do you feel like, what would you tell those viewers out there? Why is it important for people to support Easterseals?
I think that organizations, Easterseals, and the programs that they support, what they provide to the community are really vital. And it's important for them to get the funding so that they could, it just reaches out, not just for the participants, but it goes beyond that. It goes to the families as well. So it's an extension of a real community living, and it's a community opportunity for all of us to come together and give as much as we can. I believe in Easterseals. I really do. I always have, as a matter of fact. Years ago, I shared with Pietro through my payroll choices. That was one of the organizations that I actually chose to contribute to many, many years ago. And one of the reasons was that because most of the monies that it's donated, it's really goes directly to, it gets to work. It gets right directly to the people that are really mostly, they need it. And so I am a firm believer of Easterseals, and now I've got the opportunity to actually be on the other side of Easterseals, where I said, but Robert feels that that's his family. Of course, his family is my family, and I feel the same way. I think it's a great place, and it's a great organization to give. So,
thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much, Elisa. Eleazar, what would you tell the community out there?
I would say that, and just kind of like following up with what you said, and it's like, I believe that, and I didn't know your stat, and that just kind of puts it in perspective of 92 cents being used and going directly back. It's a lot of return on investment. If you are going to give, I would definitely for sure do that. Plus, you have a great staff that provides a service that the level of service that's being provided, I don't have the means to go to a private place. But I've seen private places, and I think the level of service that Easterseals provides mirrors that level. And so I believe that it's a great return on investment if you do it, and you're helping a staff that does it, lovingly, and also you're helping and making a change in individual lives, like my daughter. that has benefited so much from it. So I believe that, yeah, definitely it's something that you would want to do if you want to give, just go ahead and, this is a good return on investment. That's what I can tell you. That's like,
That's true.
it's really great.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for those kind words. Thank you. And Angel, I have to tell you, similar question, but I do want to preface it with, we bring a lot of people from the community to visit us. We bring donors, we bring potential supporters, elected officials, community partners, corporate leaders, you name it. And whenever we take friends and visitors for a tour of Easterseals, we like to walk into the classroom. And one of our favorite classroom is Arya. And one of the reasons is because, well, the teachers are amazing. They're just top notch. And also I like for our friends to hear the stories directly from the teachers about what they do in the classroom. So, but oftentimes Arya has a big smile on her face. She's very affectionate and she walks right up and she just engages. So it leaves such an impression. And that's just why a lot of the visits that we schedule take place at Easterseals, because there's no other way that someone could really understand the impact if they don't spend time and visit us.
Sure.
Right? I mean, we can go out and we talk about the work in the community, and we do it all the time, but there's nothing that replaces that in-person interaction.
Absolutely.
So,
Seeing it in action.
seeing it in action. So based on having the amazing Arya being such a great ambassador for our institution, what would you tell the community out there about why it's important to support our mission?
Because families need a place like this. Families need that guidance. I mean, I can only speak as a parent. And before I became knowledgeable, I was just as scared as every parent when they first hear that diagnosis, because it's fear that drives. And you want your child to be somewhere where they're loved, cared. And as a parent, you want to be heard. You want to be heard, and you want to be able to feel safe and be able to communicate with the teachers, the director, the therapist, and know that your child or your teenager, either way, she's your child, your spouse, the person that you love most is taken care of by people that love what they do. They're not just coming for that check. They're coming to make a difference. And you can see it on their faces when your child runs to that teacher and they're ecstatic. So for me, Easterseals is a place where you can feel safe. I've said that over and over again because I feel safe there. I know my child is taken care of, and I can drop her off and not feel overwhelmed, because parents go years trying to find a school that is a good school. And and it's frustrating and it's overwhelming and it's become so much. And to know that Easterseals is there from my child's age to yours, to your spouses, that is just a load of tension.
It's very stressful, very stressful.
A relief that is unmatched. And that is the one thing I could say that I've took from one of the many things that I've taken. But the one is gratitude to have that.
That's true.
That release of being able to know she can stay here no matter how old she is. And there's a sense of community and family there. And I could go there as the parent and I can take a moment to go, it's okay.
That's a great example, because I agree. So many of our grateful parents struggle with where to go, what to do, how to navigate the system, which is so complex and it has so many outliers that can play into it. And I do have to say about our program staff and our school, they really are trained to also help families navigate the system.
Oh, your service coordinator is fabulous.
Exactly. Yes. We have social workers, service coordinators who really wrap their heads around what the family's needs are. And it could very well be that all the services that are needed by that child or that spouse or that parent, we may not be well,
even if you don't know, you guys provide the workshops.
Exactly. We provide at least the solutions and the pathways for that. So, Angel, I'm going to challenge you with a special question. Say you were to talk to someone who has never heard of Easterseals.
I do that daily.
Exactly. Exactly. How would you describe Easterseals even in a sentence? Like, how would you talk about what we do?
Well, take all your questions and they have answers. That is my greatest thing, because for years I worked as an IEP specialist. And if you don't know what an IEP is, it's that plan that shows what your child needs. And well, for the listeners, right? These are the services and parents hear those. And for me, before I went to school, those were a bunch of acronyms I didn't understand. You were just saying a bunch of acronyms. I understand there's a problem, but what's the solution?
Right.
How can I help? Hey, me as the parent, how can I help? Because not all parents have a special needs degree or know how to navigate the system. So when you asked me, the question is, what would I say for Easterseals? I said, go with your questions and they have answers.
That's such a wonderful testament, and thank you so much. And I agree. I think that either we have the answers, or we know how to get the answers and how to help you get to the next step.
And you're not left. That's one thing they say about no child left behind. The parents, if there's a bunch of programs, there's so many programs, so many outlets, but if you don't inform the parent, it's useless.
Because it is a journey.
It's a journey. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it is. It is. Thank you so much for sharing. So, Eleazar, how would you describe Easterseals to someone that has never heard of us, maybe wants to become involved with a nonprofit? What would be your elevator pitch?
Okay.
Let them have it.
So, I mean, mine is going to be really quick. I would say Easterseals, it's a place where they're reliable. It's a happy place. It's a place where you can leave your loved one and be certain that they will be taken care of. And that's, to me, that's one of the greatest gifts that you can give someone.
It really is a gift.
So
that's wonderful. Thank you. Elisa.
My turn.
Based on your experience, it's your turn. How would you describe Easterseals?
I think that Easterseals has been a very peaceful place for Robert and for me, because whatever he feels, I feel that gets carried and shared. Whether we consciously know that this is happening or not, it does. I'm impressed, once again, by the compassion that it's actually naturally given to all the participants. That, to me, it's priceless. I trust them. I like the communication that I have with them. And I think if any of you out there are really looking for a place for your child, your spouse, I think it's really a place to start to look for. You will have the answers. And I think the support is there for families. I have felt always for the last, I've been there for 20 years now, and I've felt the support. I'm not there all the time. I try to leave that space that's Robert's space. That's his environment, and that's where he should be. And for me to step back and relax and regroup while he's there, it's really an incredible privilege to feel like that, like I could do that. And I do feel that way with all of the staff, all of them. So I would say, go look. You might even meet Robert. Sometimes he gets to meet.
You'll see Arya.
Sometimes he meets with new people coming in, and you know what, he gives his opinion, and I guess he talks to them with the staff. They let him do a little bit of that, and I think it's great. He feels good about it, and I think that also promotes his self-esteem, and that he's appreciated for what he can give and contribute to Easterseals.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. So we are coming to the end of our podcast. I want to thank you all for being part of our conversation today. Elisa and Eleazar and Angel represent 3 of our core programs. We have a Special Needs Academy. We have an adult daycare program, and we also have a culinary arts program, which are three of our flagship programs. So anytime you come and support Easterseals, starting with Give Miami-Dade this Thursday, Giving Tuesday on December 2nd, Small Miracles Luncheon on December 9, please consider being part of our family and our journey. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for being a kind friend. I brought these stickers for you all, and I want to thank you all so much
Thank
for
you.
being part of our conversation
you.
today.
Thank you.
It's been such a pleasure. And thank you all for watching. Thank you.
You.